Good evening and welcome to the WGLNA Season 3 Gold League Qualifier number 2. Today is the semifinals and the finals. We will find out which team will be joining us in the group play beginning January 15th. I'm Joshua Clutchgray, joined on the set by Andre Grietorp-Hengschwa, his final broadcast here at the Hero Level Studios. Got to say, man, it's been a pleasure so far. We're not going to say our goodbyes yet because we got a lot of takes action going through for today. But joining us on the set as well, Randall Rukel-Holcomb. We've been locking down the qualifiers the last couple weeks, guys. You were here when I was out of town. I've been back. I'm impressed with the play these teams are bringing, especially these last 4 teams that we have. Anybody could take it.
It's great to see diversity as well. We see aggressive teams, we see defensive teams, we see reactive teams, we see teams that like to sit and then once in a while go for that killing blow right off the bat. And that's something that's really cool. We see diversity in play, something we didn't get to see in Season 1.
Well, we have 4 teams left. Simposaurus Rex versus Victoria's Secret will be the first matchup tonight. The second matchup, Doge Squad versus T32 Best Tier 8 2013. I want to remind everyone that tonight's the last time to place your bets, to place your votes for the teams you think is going to win. The top 10 people in the betting system will take home 2,000 gold, 200,000 credits, and 7 days of premium. The top person on the betting system will also take home a premium Tier 8 tank. So make sure to get your bets in before each of these matches. In the first matchup, we're going to have Simposaurus Rex versus Victoria's Secret. Been impressed by both of these teams, especially Victoria's Secret, how they've been able to win out throughout the entire qualifiers. Unfortunately, they were unable to make it through the qualifiers during the last season. Same for Simposaurus Rex. Could we have another Simp team on our hands? Simplistic is out. Could be a possibility here.
A strong possibility, too. Simposaurus Rex has undergone a lot of changes. They have been defensive for the most part, but Victoria's Secret, my eyes are on them for sure. Now, these are the finalists from last qualifiers. Qualifier number 1 for Season 3, Victoria's Secret looked great. And now over here in the second qualifier, I think they have a great shot. Not only are they bringing very reactive play like we see from Simp Main, but they have very aggressive builds, especially on Himmelsdorf. We've seen Tank Alley play in the very early stages. That's really cool to see. And on all these different matches and maps, we see them always changing it up. That's something very, very cool.
Well, the map's almost underway. It's going to be on ENTS for the first matchup. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be joining us in the group play starting January 15th after tonight. It's the semifinals and then the finals. Let's jump into the game.
To remind you guys, the tanks, 3 IS-3s, a 5100 and a 110 against a very similar lineup, 2 IS-3s, a 5100, a 110, and a Pershing. Pershing, instead of that IS-3, view range 400 meters on that Pershing, a lot more than the IS-3.
Does he have optics?
Let's see. Look. He does not.
Oh, okay.
Does
he have vents?
What some do in the Pershing? Yes, he has optics.
Some dude in the Pershing?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's got optics.
Yeah, that's optics. That's not binocular.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, coded optics on there, and he does not. Okay, so he will be seeing a little over 400 meters there. Oh, early spotting going out. There's disruption spotted by Dark Lancer.
So far positions, we'll just talk about it first, starting with you, Clutch.
So Dark Lancer's all the way up to the front, and he's got a couple of his Tier 8 buddies in the IS-3s and 5100s just below and along that golf line. But the T1 Dark Lancer's going to be that proxy spotting against disruption. On the other side, for A-Large 2, he's going to be covering the railroad tracks, and he does spot 9, the other Tier 8 tank, the only Tier 8 tank that is spotted for the blue team. And 9 does fire from across the way. Looks like it might have been a blind shot, though.
Right onto Cinnabar. It's a track shot.
Oh, nice shot then. He able to get the 110, yep. And Cinnabar's not going to go for the repair kit yet, waiting for another hit. Or
no connection.
Basically a miss, just right in front of him, though, almost a hit in that 110. And now we're seeing a bit of a spread with Edbot destroying Dark Lancer in that T1.
Nice T1 against 2 T1 action for the red team. That is Victoria's Secret. Spawning on the north side. South side is Simposaurus Rex. They did confirm that a 5100 is over there as well, all the way over in like J6, J7, K6, K7 area. So they did manage to see him.
Yeah,
and now they're going to see, of course, A-Large over there on the 6 line. The Pershing has done a fantastic job at just locking this map down. And I think that's the big thing that really comes about this map. Some dude has been able to not really aggress up, but he sees all the way down this line, and it gives them indicators to let Edbot know, hey, yeah, you can go TV1. It's a little bit safe there because they're kind of positioned in the center of the map.
The center control is good enough on ENTS, especially when you're able to scout anything coming down that railroad system. And we saw an unsuccessful push last night, Rukel and I, which they did very well in the southern engagement, but their north was completely open, allowing two of the T1s to go for the cap.
Yeah, and it was a matter of positioning, making that cap work, following, getting right through that tracks push. If Bao Bao in the IS3 yesterday had actually been further to the west, there would have been a cap victory. Just the little things coming into play. Even if you make a tracks push, it can fall apart if you just can't get into the right positions. It's all about positional play on ends, especially when you want to cap.
7 minutes and 10 seconds left. Okeano still inside the city area along with Revelator. Not too much pushing going on yet. Some dude 904 is seen though in the pushing from far away.
Yep, by A large. I do want to just let everybody know that Cinnabar was reconfirmed that he's still over there on the 6-7 line. That is a 110 staying there. The 110 doesn't have the best view range. Yes, it's got a great Shuka, so you saw the bounces in the very beginning stage.
Ooh, A-Large will go down to the Pershing some dude.
That is gigantic. A large 2 was the spotter for that 6 line. Now, I almost feel like some dude can go back to the 6 line, even though that sounds kind of crazy. You go back to the 6 line, you can push up a little bit more aggressively. But no, look at this. We have a big push going up the 4 line and then wrapping around with everybody else.
Revelator and Okeano are going to get completely surrounded. I'm expecting to see Okeano go down very quickly, but a few quick bounces will keep him alive.
Tenno Skywalker got caught on fire, and 9 took a lot of damage in the center line. But that Pershing is just so far away. But here Cinnabar comes to get that flank. Things are looking a little bit dicey for Victoria's Secret.
MFW pushes in, and that 110 is not taking any damage yet. 9 in the IS3 at 905. Circles to the side. He gets hit by Revelator. Revelator in his last couple shots trying to stay alive here to get somebody down. 9 takes a huge hit to his side, and now Revelator's going to back up just in time. The 110 from Cinnabar moves in for the kill. And now it's 4 tier 8s versus 4, but Tano is really low on HP, and Cinnabar moves in to take down 9. MFX in the 110 has not taken enough damage yet to fall back, but Revelator gets the last kill on Tano, but across the way comes the Pershing some dude, and a shot in the back stops him. And now with 14-16 versus 905, Pershing with the faster fire rate against the 110s going to lock down a couple more hits here. And Cinnabar looks like he bounces off the Pershing. Some dude blocks another hit. 462 against 14-16, but the 5100 from worst player in A coming in for some cleanup.
Oh, Air News catches fire for a moment, going down to 503. Cinnabar is losing this 1v1, ramming some dude for a little bit of damage, and he will start face hugging. But some dude will take him down. Now just 3v2.
Yeah, great stuff coming in here. Now the 110 takes damage. One more shot and down he goes. 7 hit points left on that 5100. Air News comes in to clean it up. Now some dude cleans up the 5100, and it's an IS3 versus a Pershing. The problem is Edbot over there on the cap. He is putting a lot of pressure in, and now gonna turret break Air News. Really well played, just running straight past him. But it's just one more shot. Oh, it's a low roll!
Ooh, there's a chance for Air News to come back.
And Air News, I think he will.
No, some
gosh.
dude gets the shot just in time. However, 28 seconds left, but that doesn't matter because their team, Victoria's Secret, able to take the battle.
Unreal. If there was adrenaline rush right there, it would have been game over for that Pershing. That IS3 would have been able to reload in time, but he didn't have that crew skill. That's the thing about qualifiers. It's a little bit different where you don't have every single skill. At the same time, a lot of good stuff. The IS3 just got completely outplayed at that end point. Really, really well done. Turret breaking that IS3 with Pershing, just running straight past, realizing the turret can't follow me that fast.
I think Mornblade's going to have to be cautious. He is the throned king for the Pershing, but some dude in that performance maybe a contender to take him down when it comes to the stats.
Some dude is really good in this Pershing.
That's right, some dude 904. Randall, the isolation push from Victoria's Secret was really, really well done. However, the 110 fight back and forth seemed to be a teeter-totter scenario for both the teams.
A little bit, but that push came down to timing. That's what made it so very good. The fact that they got a T1 advantage. You had 2 T1s down and a T1 advantage, which meant they needed to push. And when they pushed, they put their T1s on cap, ensuring victory. So when they ensured that victory with T1s on cap, they started the fight, distracted all of the tier 8s, and it didn't matter if they'd actually won that brawl. They just had to make it last long enough to the point where cap would finish up.
And not only that, they got a very nice pickoff in the early stages. We'll take a look at the team score right now, and really what comes to mind is going to be Okeano. Unfortunate so far for Simposaurus Rex. Look at this, 2,523 damage by Air News. 12 shots, or potential 12. 11 shots were fired, 9 of them penetrated. We got Revelator 4 of 4, tanking a lot of damage. Cinnabar 5 of 5, looking really good. But then we go down to Okeano. 1 shot fired, 0 damage done.
He didn't get a chance, though.
He didn't. No, that's what
He
it comes
was-
down to. And it's the positioning, as you were saying, the timing, as you were saying, all of these things factored in. So even though the Pershing was so far away from everything, it was still a 4v4 to start things off. The Pershing comes in, sweeps in for the kills, was able to kill a 5100, a 110, and then after that, an IS-3.
That Pershing. Pershing. It's been great to see that type of play happen. Some people equate it to when the T-69 lost 50 penetration on its heat rounds, why the uses of the Pershing were added onto, plus you have the 400-meter range, and it has a decent amount of armor. Now, T-32 is a similar tank. It's a chassis actually modeled after the Pershing, but it's a little bit slower compared to the Pershing. And when you have a medium tank that can move quickly, as we saw against that IS-3, to get behind it and to land those shots, it was crucial.
Would you say, relative to the Pershing, the T-32's, I guess, con would be the speed?
Nope.
No?
Because you make up for it in the armor.
But, I mean, that's a pro, and then you have your cons.
No.
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 It's sufficient.
I know you're going to try. It's sufficient. It's definitely sufficient. The next map is going to be on Cliff, and we've seen a lot of central play happening throughout the qualifiers here, and this is a very fast map. It actually reminds me of Prohorovka during Season 1, how quickly that map went.
Oh, yeah.
But this has been a change in the meta because of this map introduction. We're just waiting for the teams to finalize their tanks here. We'll jump into game number 2. Victoria's Secret is looking pretty strong, but that was a very close matchup. It's still anybody's game. Is this going to be maybe a 3-1, 3-2 scenario, or do you think it's going to be a 3-0?
I'm going to say 3-0.
Really?
I really think Victoria's Secret just looks a lot better. They're a little bit more bold. They have much better plans. The Pershing, they used that Pershing to their advantage this last game. It was, I would say, towards the end part, a little bit the mid-game part, it was a little bit misplayed with it staying inside of like the nook. But overall, he was able to get over in good time and get those shots on. The other side, though, we saw 2 T1s die pretty needlessly. You cannot, absolutely cannot waste those T1s. They're such a valuable part of your game plan. On top of that, I think overall better tanking out of Victoria's Secret so far.
Well, and landing those shots is crucial, especially on the onset when these tanks meet each other in the center. And I'm actually reminded of Fulcrum Gaming versus Team Ukraine, Team Dignitas at WCG, where they both met at the center, and Team Ukraine popped off 4 shots before Fulcrum even fired a shot. And they landed all 4 of them.
That doesn't even make sense to me. How does that happen?
It was hard to watch. But Fulcrum Gaming's still the best in North America, and they are ready to compete against the rest of the world. And they know they had to make some changes in their game after that, and they will. So make sure to watch them during group play. They've won Season 1 and 2 so far, and they're hungry for more. Season 3, they definitely will be one of the top contenders. Looks like the teams are almost ready here. Cliff will be the map. Rookhill, again, Eastern push. We did see a little bit of that happen last night, but it was a little too late, I would say.
Yeah, making an east push work, you have to push the middle, and then you have to push the east simultaneously, making it a flank so that what happens is your opponent doesn't have time to push forward and get out of that surround. When you're surrounded, the response is push forward, put your enemy on one side of you instead of both sides.
Right.
You can't let them do that.
Well, let's see if these teams are going to do that or not. But it's time to jump into Cliff, ladies and gentlemen. Battle number 2, Simposaurus Rex versus Victoria's Secret.
Much slower lineup for these players. T-32, a Pershing, and 3 1390s on the side of Simposaurus Rex. A 5100, a T-32, a T-69, and 2 1390s. The reason why I say it's a slower lineup relative to the meta on this map is because of the T-32 choices. It's a much slower tank. You can't get to that center, but what you can do is flex your muscles a little bit more on that center line. We're going to look to see how many 1390s are going to be committed over to that west side, which is so important to get that extra crossfire. The advantage goes to Simposaurus Rex with 3 1390s over the 2 1390s that we see from Victoria's Secret.
And both the T-32s going for the 90mm T-15E.
That's a superior gun in my opinion. You have higher penetration on your APCR rounds, and you have a better DPM, higher rate of fire,
Whoa.
and more accuracy.
Okay, I got to comment on this. Look at this movement. All the way over on the west side, all 7 tanks are moving this way. Are they just going to look for west side control? Is this going to be a trap? So many questions, I really don't know. But Cinnabar going to be taken out by a T-69 right in the beginning stages. That should reveal all the plans. A T-69 being over there,
Just a T-69
I have to
though.
be careful.
Just a T-69. Now Edbot is finally spotted by Dark Lancer. The jig really isn't up quite yet. It looks like a very normal approach to this map. The only thing is these 1390s in the middle haven't seen all that much. Now more tanks are spotted. This might actually alert Simposaurus Rex.
T69, some dude is hit. Spotting-wise by Dark Lancer, AR. He falls back, though, at 90 HP, and the other T1s may be pushing up against him. But here comes a cruise of A-Large 2 up around the bend. He takes a lot of damage, though, coming around. The 5100 unloading upon him, and he sees too much as he falls. 9 at 375 takes a lot of hits, but he falls back as M-Pro and his 5100 is unloading into Okeano. A couple more shots, and some dude takes down Dark Lancer in the T1. M-Pro unloading a lot of damage, but he falls as EdBot in the 1390 pushes up for the cleanup.
Some unreal play. Along with this, we have 2 T1s heading over to Cap with a 1 battle over here in the west side of the map. 9 down to 116. He's going to be taken out from behind. Revelator in his T32 able to get the good position, but at this position, they're still behind. I mean, yes, you could make the case that it's even in tier 8 tanks, but right now a lot of these tanks are clipping. 1390 still alive on the red team, and they're going to be able to just micro Air News down to a win.
EdBot dodging Air News' shot, and now one more hit from the T32, and he falls, but Revelator is coming around the corner in his T32.
Ooh.
And worst player NA gets the cleanup kill. Blue Base still under attack. Tano Skywalker trying to keep these 2 blue players under wraps here, as some dude is still left alive, and looks like he may be going up to the north side. No, he's down in the south. Excuse me. Nope, there he is in the T69. He's in the center. Revelator.
He's
in
ready.
the T32.
He wants to take out this 1390. That's the intelligent move right now, because the 1390 is so mobile. Although his track is hit, but the 1390 right in the crosshairs. He's going to get the double tap and the kill. T32 drops down, but it doesn't matter. Blue base has already been captured. The 2 T1s winning out the battle.
I was trying to figure out where the rest of the red team was. The 2 T1s were down in the south, but that T69 was up in the bushes, man, waiting for that sweep attack to halt those 2 remaining Simposaurus Rex players from getting to the flag. Great sweep, great play by Victoria's Secret.
That's right. I mean, as soon as they're able to surprise their opponents with the T1s in the initial stages, their main thing to do is to take out those 1390s. The 1390s represent that very mobile defense. If they remove all of those 1390s and even the Pershing off the field, you're left with a T32. That's it. T32 can't go back to defend. It's more brawny, right? It's like U-Clutch. It's really strong, really powerful, but sometimes
not the fastest.
not the fastest. Not the fastest.
Running-wise,
right? But,
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
I'm there.
T32, so smart.
It is.
So
Seriously.
smart. Top 10 smart tanks.
I mean, the puns and the transitions coming from a T32.
Have you seen the size of that turret, by the way? That's like the brains right there.
It is.
It's actually not all that big a turret next to the size of a lot of other turrets, Andre.
Man, Rookhill is such a he's a Buzz Killington.
I
Top
had to
10
point that
Buzz
one out. Like
Killington.
the Tiger 2 turret's a little bigger. It's a German tank.
Is that the hat that you wanted to wear to match your jacket?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, look, it fits
It's
you very
it's
well.
so soft.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
so
Feel it.
solid color.
Well,
Feel
no.
it. Touch it.
It looks like the turret of an awful tiger.
Yeah, that's where the brains come from, Rookhill.
Boom.
It's
I have
from
to
the
keep it warm.
That's right. Well, we have the next map almost underway and loaded here, but Revelator in the T32, he was 5 for 6 on his team score, but it was some dude, again, pulling out all the stops, doing a lot of damage here. Necessary at the end in that T69. Did not do most of the damage that actually went to M-Pro out of the 5100, 6 for 6 for his shot. So well done placing those hits. And with Victoria's Secret's play, you know, that Western commitment and then moving up, they stayed away from the center area. So all of those turrets that were waiting for them, they're not there, guys. Where are they? And so when one of them swept around in that push, he got completely caught off guard. The 5100 was able to unload on the rest.
I think the main thing that they should have done, Simposaurus Rex that is once they see the T69 over on the west side, they're saying, okay, well, we know 2 1390s want to go to the west side. There could be that T69 there. Let's be careful of the west and not push into that until we have maintained that center control. Take the center and then slowly push out, because you do have that high ground advantage. The T32, the T69, a little, or not the T69, the Pershing, a little bit slower than everybody else, and then start strangling your opponents as the game goes on. But you definitely have to defend against west side pushes, because that's very, very scary at times.
Victoria's Secret is 1 battle away from moving on to the finals. These teams are trying to compete in the group play starting January 2nd. That's when we're going to have 3 weeks of epic World of Tanks action. And after that, we'll have our finals in February More details about where the finals will be announced soon, and this is for a prize pool of $100,000. We already have our 15 teams so far. We have one spot left. And can Victoria's Secret finish out this series and then beat the winner between T32 Best Tier 8 2013 and Doge Squad? We're going to have to find out after that series. And the next battle is going to be on Himmelsdorf, a decisive map we've seen so far in the qualifiers. Randall, you and I saw some great hill play from one of the teams, however, it did not work in their favor in the end because, again, the North was open to that flag cap.
No, you're saying it wrong.
It's just
hold
T1.
Hold on. We gotta. It's because they use the east side.
God, so trolly.
It's
Now you make up.
It's T1 play. We're seeing it was really good T1 play that won that map, and it's really good T1 play that's winning Victoria's Secret's maps right now. First battle, easily won by T1s, even if they didn't win that brawl.
Yep.
Second map, won by T1s, even though they were at a disadvantage, a severe disadvantage right at the end of the Tier 8 brawl. So I think Victoria's Secret has a much better approach in the fact that they eliminate their opponent's Tier 1s, then they use their own Tier 1s in conjunction with a fight to ensure victory between two different objectives.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, the T1s, and once they realize they have the T1 advantage, they look to exercise that. They're looking to do multiple win conditions in a single game, and that's something that's so cool. And what I mean by win condition is you have two ways of winning a battle. It's either you win the brawl, or you win by capping. And they're looking to say, let's do both at the same time. Let's look to take a T1 advantage, and then from there, find some way to battle sort of cost efficiently, at least even, rely on our skill, and at the same time put some cap pressure. That way we can win by cap, or we can win by them drawing back and we get back shots on them.
Let's see if Victoria's Secret has any secrets up their sleeve for battle number 3 on Himmelsdorf versus Simposaurus Rex.
Tanks are looking at 110, 2 5100s, and 2 IS3s for the side of Simposaurus Rex. 2 5100s and 3 IS3s. A pretty mirrored matchup, I would say, 110 to an IS3. There are pros and cons of both of them, but overall, they're performing the same role, which is that burst, that alpha damage in the beginning stage.
Randall, what would be the advantage of bringing a 110 compared to an IS3 in this lineup for Simposaurus Rex?
All right, so a 110 brings DPM, accuracy, and penetration on its the 100 mil. It also has a beautiful Shuka, stronger Shuka than the IS3 does, but the con would be it lacks the amazing spaced armor of the IS3. Also, it rolls for an average of 320 damage on its 100 mil next to the IS3's 390 average damage on the BL9. So 122 does about 390, 100 about 320. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Alpha for the IS3, DPM for the 110.
A-Large 2 in the T1 will spot 9 for some proxy spotting. 9's going to head all the way back to the north. What's the rest of the positioning for the red team?
We can see a pretty defensive position over at Tank Alley. And while that's happening, what are they trying to do? Empower their T1s yet again. Who is it on the hill? It's going to be M-Pro. Backing up Edbot, making sure he's going to be super safe. And also, he can get a good look if he wants to use his 5100 to look down that G line. And, of course, the D line, just in case there are any west side pushes at the same time. That's more luck. But Edbot moving on over. And M-Pro being very aggressive with this. He's not going to wait until Edbot actually reveals any T1s. Of course, they see both T1s, that's why.
Dark Lancer does go down to Disruption in the T1. Now only A-Large remains. This is again T1 advantage starting to go in the favor of Victoria's Secret.
And it's not just T1 advantage, but getting their T1 into a place where they can use it in an aggressive stance, or at least a strategic stance.
9 just missed a shot against A-Large 2. A-Large 2 up against the wall. Super close for him. But 9 takes a hit to the front.
He needs to be careful. IS3 from down 10, Revelator was able to connect that shot. He will back up from here. But the 5100 on top of the hill, M-Pro, is going to see a couple of tanks here, back up. He sees the line of them. And right now, he's in a, I would say, a difficult situation where does he go back and expect a push, knowing that it's an overmatch 4v5, or does he go on and try to get back shots?
Well, A-Large right now is actually getting peppered. So at the same time, sorry to give you a tangent, Andre.
That's okay. He just falls.
Is going down. Just a T1 sniping from somewhere in the west. Don't know where that T1 was.
Look at Edbot. He's such a handsome player. Yep. He's such a dead player.
He's a dead and handsome player.
Alciano's able to get the kill on that, and now the push-up during for Tank Alley and the Courtyard on both sides, but Disruption's going to see it, and so is MFX in his 5100. Cinnabar is going to be leading the charge in his 110. and now he's going to get shot twice. One's a bounce and one's a hit to the front.
He's a little bit slow to be doing this. I mean, the 5100 had a lot of time to actually react to this. He is already in position almost, and now the fires are going to ensue. A little bit of peppering from, was it that T1 that was doing like 19 damage? I think so. Yeah, against the 5100's worst player, NA, and Air News in the front. Now they are taking the initial burst, so they might be able to be reloaded.
Now Okeanos, Cinnabar, and Revelator are running straight into the IS-3s, into a crossfire, and it looks like they want to focus down some dude first. But Cinnabar goes down instead.
Yes, he does. And now MFX going to come out from behind. M-Pro is also doing a great job over there in the front. And he actually took out Air News as well. Some dude still alive, 33 hit points.
Wow, some dude able to get that last shot along with his teammate M-Pro to take down Air News. Revelator in the IS-3 trying to clean that up. He does. MFX and 5100 hanging back, while M-Pro pushes in with an IS-3s on his teammates. One tank left alive until Victoria's Secret moves on to the finals. Tano Skywalker lines up the shot in the IS-3, and he does take it, and that's it. Victoria's Secret will go to the finals for qualifier number 2 for Season 3 of the WGLNA Gold League.
Back-to-back great performances from Victoria's Secret. They realized the strengths of Simposaurus Rex and simply backed up their 5100. They still had good position with a T1 over on the hill and a T1 over on the west side. Unfortunately, Edbot did die while scouting that G line. Still, when it came down to it, the engagement favored not Simposaurus Rex. It favored Victoria's Secret so much because they have the defensive advantage. They're able to move like water, which they did. They brawled much better, fed those IS-3s into an open area with 3 different crossfires against them. And some dude, gosh, this guy is some dude to look out for.
He really is. He really is. Randall, your thoughts on that last engagement?
Again, T1 advantage. I think that's what caused Simposaurus Rex to push. They lost both of their T1s. Following that, they said, we have to do something, so they decided to make a push happen, which, you know, if Disruption had actually gone south towards the enemy's cap, he could have started the cap pressure, and we would have seen yet again a cap pressure and a brawl at the same time. Victoria's Secret just winning on 2 fronts again.
Man, I'm always so confused because they're sending their T1s to be so aggressive, but at the same time, you know, we always talk about this, not doing anything with the T1s. They're not, yes, they're able to proxy spot some tanks, but are they in position to defend or attack? And a lot of times the answer is no. You know, their T1s are just being given up for free. They have a job in the beginning stage. It's like, hey, go proxy spot here, or go look down the 6th line of Ensk. But afterwards, it just falls through, and they don't have any follow-up after that.
It is unfortunate that Simposaurus Rex goes the way of the dinosaurs and will be extinct for this qualifier, but we wish them the best of luck, and hopefully they will sign up once again in the qualifiers for Season 4 and also to sign up for the Open League. Well, that does it for our first matchup. Our next matchup is going to be the Doge Squad versus T32, Best Tier 8 2013. And I'll try not to be as biased this time as I was last night.
It's okay, Clutch. There's only a couple more weeks of 2013.
I know. That's right. That's right. Well, we're going to take a break. We come back, the second semifinal. And after that, the final. Stay tuned. You're watching the WGLNA Gold League Qualifier number 2.